Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to a surprise live. Welcome to a surprise live. I'll give you guys a few minutes because I didn't tell anybody, like I never do. Anyway, give you guys a few minutes to get in here, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself and get straight into the topic of the video and as to what made me think of this today. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Okay. Pretty wild. Come on in. Come on in. I'm gonna have to get my laptop because I cannot. I won't be so I can see what you guys are typing when I am talking. So I'll do that at the same time. Give you guys a few minutes to get up in here while I get over to the channel. And if you can hear me okay, give me a one. Make sure my mic check, mic check. Make sure I'm sounding all right. Welcome to the channel. All right. Stop that one. All right. Welcome. All right. We're gonna get started. What's up, Cosmic? I see you in there. How you doing? Cool, cool. All right, good. All right, for everybody coming into the room, my name is LJ Young. I am the founder of SMD. And what is SMD? SMD is it's a place where I share my gifts, and it's not me. It's a family of people who I share my gift with, and been doing it for quite a number of years now. And what is that? The gift of knowing that capitalism, which is this is a mathematical fact statement that I'm about to tell you. Capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. All right. Therefore, on the negative side, there are people, they are called debt slaves. And debt slaves are people, and they live in what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is the negative side of capitalism. Okay. So I just want you guys, if you guys hear me say negative side, the debt matrix, those two things are interchangeable. They're the same thing. Okay. Now, debt slaves are people that believe they can buy excuse me, they believe they can own things with no money of their own. Okay, they believe they can buy houses with mortgages, cars with car loans, save for retirement, contribute to retirement plans while having student loan debt older than the retirement plans. People that believe they can buy a house for 3.5% of the purchase price, 20% of the purchase price, and you can't do that. All of that is mathematically impossible. Anyway, uh, that was me. All right. I lived on the negative side. I was born there. I thought credit and everything is, what it was, what you guys think today. And once I got out of there, I've discovered that my credit report was really my owner's ledger. It just kept track of all the businesses that owned me. My credit score was nothing more than reward points for staying in debt with the owners, all the owners that were listed on my credit report. So now that I have no owners, I officially own myself, and I can prove that to anybody by showing them my credit report. It'll show no owners. Okay. So no debt, basically no debt. Okay. All right. So, uh, but even after coming to the positive side, I discovered that there was another level, which was the psychological part of it all. And you're probably thinking, well, what is that part? Well, millions of people believe they own houses with mortgages, even though it's none of that is mathematically true. The psychological part is this: they don't know that. Okay. They all believe they own houses. They all believe they own cars. They all believe that they finance an electric car, they're saving money on gas, et cetera, et cetera. The psychological part is this: they don't know that a financed electric car does not save money on gas. Okay. Um, a financed electric car that say like the majority of what you got here. Let me show you. Let me tell you the psychological part that you don't see when you're in the debt matrix. Okay. So say like You see somebody that you knew once had a regular gas car and they were making payments on it, okay? And they decided to get an electric car. Say like they decided to get a Tesla. The majority of those people will they traded in their gas car, rolled negative equity from the gas vehicle loan into the new Tesla loan so they can get into the Tesla. Now, here's the psychological part of it. Now they believe they're saving money on gas, which they're really not. They're really no different than the gas car. They're just instead of making payments on a gas car, this is the reality part. Instead of making payments on a gas car, they're just making payments on an electric car now. That's the only thing that has changed. Nothing else has changed. But again, they don't know that. Okay, that's the psychological part of it all. Now, the reason why I had this, the reason why I'm making this video today, I've been noticing something happening. Okay, so I'm kind of just driving around town. I pull into McDonald's, and uh, I was getting out of my car, grab my water because I usually don't drink the pop. I just like my water, right? So I grab my water, and then I go in to order my food and sit down. Okay, like I normally, like I haven't been in McDonald's in a long time, so maybe this is new. This is not new. Okay, this is just new to me. All right. So when I got into McDonald's, I noticed that there was a small tiny space for maybe a register or two, but not those long, like 3 or 4 registers along a long wall. It was like a very small place for a register or two. Of course, you got to walk in and place your own order on the little digital screen, and then but it was like it's like a box almost. And then in the back, you can see all the workers back there making the food, right? And I said to myself, and then I'm looking back there, and nobody's speaking English either. Not that I'm just telling you something, okay? Not that I care who's back there working. I'm just telling you something. Nobody's speaking English, okay? But as a customer, my view of the workers is that I could see people back there, but there's no way for me to say, "Hey, I need some help out here," or something, right? Just by the way they designed this McDonald's, right? So what I do is you go in. I went in there, ordered my food on the digital board, and then it's placed on this area where they place all the to-go orders, the Uber Eat orders, or people that order McDonald's. They just set it there. So the sign said, we're not serving any dining in. So I thought to myself, you know who else is doing that same model? Taco Bell. Taco Bell has come up with a new design, like a two-floor Taco Bell, like it's a two-level Taco Bell, and all the workers are at the top, and they're making the food, and nobody's actually seeing the customer, right? It's almost like it's just not like having a person up front is just like irrelevant now. It's crazy, right? Because I remember back in those days, working at McDonald's was just a little teenage job, but this is something different. Anyway, I see this pattern that's changing. Okay, I see these companies are starting to copy the Amazon model. Okay, and what is the Amazon model? All you Okay, when Amazon comes to your city, they are taking up blocks and blocks for warehouse space. All of those that's how many workers are in those warehouses? You know how many workers are going to be inside of the Taco Bell cooking area, the McDonald's? It's all the same. And let me tell you something. When you step outside the debt matrix, I looked this up too before I got online. I said, how much is that? How much is the average Amazon worker, warehouse worker earning? They're earning about $20 an hour gross. Now, when you're in debt, you don't really understand what that means. You guys don't really understand the difference between net and gross. And if I was you, say like this is you. You really don't understand the difference between net and gross. You need to admit that to yourself and take the time to understand it. because now that I've exited the debt matrix and all that stuff, and first of all, when now that I'm out and I see hourly wages, salary, yearly salaries, all this other stuff, you guys don't understand. That don't really, it's not really like what you think it is. It's not. So when I see $20 an hour, I'm thinking, because I've been wondering for the longest, what are they going to do with all you debt slaves? Because listen, when Tesla, when Tesla goes online, and I want you guys to pay attention before it happens, because this is the only place on the internet you're going to hear this. Okay. You see how many Teslas are everywhere? They're about to take over the whole game. Do you guys understand that? You're not going to hear about Uber anymore, Lyft, all these other delivery trying to, they're about to take it all over. You guys got to go somewhere. You know how many people drive for Uber that you guys are not going to have a job soon? You know how many people deliver food that you guys are not going to have a job soon? You guys are not going to have a job. You're thinking, oh, yes, they will. Who do you listen? I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna work. Okay. Once they let's go with the food part. Let's go with the food part. This is the best one. Once they approve, once Tesla gets approved for his driverless cars to be going around all places by themselves, customers are going to demand Tesla to deliver their food, which is going to force the restaurants, listen closely, which will force the restaurants to only use Tesla. Do you guys understand that? The customers are tired of you guys fucking with their food, breathing on it, taking some, pretending to drop it. Not th- All of that is going to be eliminated in one big swoop. You guys, that's clear. That is crystal clear to me. You guys can go on YouTube right now and find about 50,000 videos of somebody dropping food, taking a picture of it, picking it up and taking it. All of that is, do you guys know how much that costs food companies, restaurants? They're tired of that shit. Tired of it. But when you're a debt slave, you don't know nothing about business. You don't know how it runs. You don't know how it works. You just think if they're a big business, they have millions of dollars to cover every loss. It doesn't work like that, people. Once Tesla comes on, you guys are out of a job, and guess where you guys going to be working? Taco Bell, McDonald's, because they're following the all the they're following the same pattern. That's a lot of people. I'm thinking, where are you guys going? Then I said, okay, because you guys got to have money to pay for stuff. It all connects. So they can't just take all your jobs and you guys don't have nothing. Then you guys will wake up or something. That's too. Listen, put it this way: if they said like they didn't tell you guys nothing, right? And then they brought on Tesla online without telling anybody. Hey, Tesla's online. Everything works. That means all those drivers that deliver food, you guys would be out of a job. Because if I was a restaurant, right, and I was having problems getting food delivered, something was wrong with it, blah blah blah, customers lying. You guys, there's so many things that are going to be eliminated in this one thing. Everybody's going to go for this. Is just obvious to me. It's obvious. It's obvious. You guys are about to have warehouse jobs. UBI. I'm thinking they have to bring in UBI because you guys ain't gonna have no money. Is that maybe this is setting up for UBI because this is coming? Nothing's stopping this. You guys don't even see Tesla just take it, man. You think all you got to do is just look up driverless software testing Tesla on YouTube? Just go look it up. Go look it up. You think he's doing all that testing for nothing? Tesla doesn't do things for nothing. He has, man, it's crazy. I don't know why people can't even see it. Where are you guys gonna go? You guys, a lot of you guys that do this driver stuff, you guys depend on that shit. I hope you, and if you're listening to this, don't just listen. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. All you gotta do is think about it. Just think about it. Once Tesla goes online, rest customers are gonna say, "Hey, I want some food from your restaurant. Who do you use to deliver the food?" And they better say Tesla. When you go, hey, listen, when you go for a car, look, Teslas are everywhere. Remember, you just go down the street. There's 50,000 of them everywhere. When you order a car, you know it's going to be clean. You know it's going to be nice. You know everything. It's not going to be smoke. Listen, it's not going to smell like smoke. It's not going to smell like somebody that smokes. They try to cover up the smell because that's what you do. If you're a driver right now and you smoke, and then when you go pick up a person and then you try to spray some stuff, we know you're doing that. It still stinks. It stinks like cigarette smoke and spray. That will never happen in a Tesla because they will have requirements. It's no different than Amazon. And listen, Tesla's taken like Amazon, a little bit of Amazon and Uber's design. They're going to have a whole bunch of workers with no employees. They're not going to even have to own, listen, they're not even going to have to own any cars. Just like it's the same way as Uber, but no drivers. And listen, and they control the cars already. They control every single car. So nobody can lie and say, hey, my car has this and it looks like that. They will have, it's already there. They can just push a button. What's your card number? Okay, push a button. They see if it has all the stuff that's requirement. If required, if it doesn't have it, you're not eligible. Period. You guys understand this is chess? What are you guys gonna do? If I have to call for a car and I need a ride to the airport and I get a Tesla in 5 minutes, nobody's gonna be able to compete with that. Do you guys understand that? Nobody. You will get a car in 5 minutes. What are you guys gonna do? This would, hey, listen, this would, I'm not gonna leave you guys empty-handed. Let me give you some ideas. How about, if you got some money, why don't you own a few Teslas? Own them, not, if you do it right, you can own them with a loan through business. But if you're not personally debt free, I do not suggest that. Only if you have some money to buy them outright. Maybe you start look into some charging station, something, or Tesla wash or something. Who knows? Something that's going to wrap around because they're going to listen. They're going to need these cars clean. They can't clean all these cars. The people that own them, they're not going to have time to clean them because they're going to be at work. Okay, you guys got to understand the Tesla. 9 times out of 10, they're going to go after all the people that got car payments. Tell them they'll pay part. Listen, man, I can just see it, man. Hey, we'll pay part of your car payment if you make it part of our fleet or some stupid shit, and then they'll take it. That's basically free. They're gonna make them charge it, make them pay for the auto drive. Blah, man, it's endless. So think of something that you can do that because the cars have to be clean all the time, vacuum. Maybe there's a place that, once the car has reached a certain time service that it needs to be checked or some shit. Who knows? You can make up something. But anyway, think about that now because it's coming. You don't want to be the person. All you gotta do is look at the McDonald's. They're totally redesigned. The Jack in the Box, all of them. They're doing all the same. They're looking at something. They're like, hey, look. It's working. It seems to be this man, I couldn't even imagine working in no Amazon warehouse. It's gonna get worse and worse and worse. That's why you guys like, when you have a job, put it this way, when you have a job that you can set up a camera and do your live and play talk to your friends and because I see that shit all the time in these youngsters that you guys be setting up your phones inside of your on your job, talking to people, doing your work. If you keep doing that, that's the job you're gonna have until the end of your days of working. I want you to think about it. If you and your friends all do that at your jobs, I want you guys to think about it this way. Do you guys all have the same type of job? That's why you guys are all doing it. That's why you guys are all friends because you guys do that. You're not going to really understand what that means until you own your own business. Once you own your own business and then you see somebody setting up their phone for a live and talking and yapping and whatever, then you'll understand what that means. You're going to be working in those warehouses for the rest of your life. Here we are, we have these videos of it's always in other countries too, India or China. Oh, look at all those people. Look at that. They're working in like sweat houses. What do you guys think you're doing? They just don't show it like that here. You think because we got fancier robots moving around, you're still in a warehouse doing that. You're in a box all day. That's a box, a very big box. If you're listening to this, when you're at work one day, I want you to during your lunchtime, I want you to get up, go stand outside the building far enough to where you can see the whole building, and tell me if it looks like a box. And then say to yourself, I'm gonna be in that box all day, every day. A box. That's crazy, man. There is no way $20 gross minus taxes. That's what you guys make at a at an Amazon warehouse. Probably the same at Taco Bell. Look it up. You guys don't believe me? Look up Taco Bell, new design Taco Bell or something. You'll see it. They're eliminating people at those businesses that where they interact with customers that like there's no more person interaction. That shit's gone. They're removing that. I guess this is just the new way. It's not a big deal. It's just the new way of the economy. Okay, you just got to flow with it. You don't be like, oh my god, I, I wish it was the way it used to be. Everybody says that, and when you hear people say that, they're probably a debt slave. If you hear a person say, "Man, I sure miss the way it used to be," you turn to them and say, "Are you making car payments?" Yeah, okay, that's why you're talking. Well, you don't say that part. You just ask them, are they making car payments? If the answer is yes, understand this to yourself. That's why they're talking like that because they're debt slaves. Debt slaves talk like that. People that understand, they understand the future changes. When you see companies like Sears that lasted 100 years, Chick-fil-A almost 80 years, those are people that understand that they have to adapt to change because everything changes. You can't just stay the way, oh man, it's been working. We might as well just stay this way. You see how, listen, do you see how smooth, like when 2020 happened? Did you see how Chick-fil-A handled a worldwide crisis? Did you see how they handled that? I don't even listen. I don't look at the world the same way you guys do. I look at the way businesses do. So I pull in there, I'm like, damn, everybody seems to be panicking except Chick-fil-A. And listen, and they still took Sundays off during the pandemic. You guys should be paying attention to that. When you see companies making moves like that, big moves, and still doing this, that means they're doing something different than everybody else. When people handle business different than when you're not, put it this way, when you're not in debt and a pandemic happens, it's it's not as a big deal as it to other people. It's not. When you guys see the economy going up and down, when you're not in debt, uh, you're like, okay, you pay attention, but you're not. Oh my God, how I'm gonna pay rent? How I'm gonna fill a gas tank? You're not even thinking like that. It's like, oh well, can't wait till this turns around. And it's not even like that. When the economy goes like this, and you got money, this is a good thing. People are selling shit, selling houses because you guys listen. You guys think you can buy a house with a mortgage when it's like a wave. Okay, if the economy goes down, and you guys have been in mortgages all your life, been barely making payments, you guys are getting washed away with the wave. Okay, you guys are on that wave leaving. Period. The bank already knows that because the bank owns 99% of the houses you see. That means they already know who's making payments, who's missing payments, who's refinancing their house 3 or 4 or 5 times, financing new cars. They already know who's going to get washed away. Okay. They already know right now, today. You guys, the ones out there fronting with your cars and your new Teslas and this and that, the bank already knows you're fronting because they own all the stuff that you guys see. The majority of people see the bank owns all of that. Finance vehicles make the driver irrelevant. Remember that, young people. Whenever you see a vehicle, before your feelings start getting jealous and you're like, oh my God, they got more than me. They got a better job than me. You go up to them and say, don't ask them, do they got car payments? This is the better thing. I'm gonna give you these psychological sayings so they don't know. Okay. Say, hey, did you get an awesome interest rate on this loan, on this car loan, or whatever? You make it up that way. And if they say, "Oh yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know nothing else." They finance the car. That means when you see somebody making payments, that means they couldn't afford to buy it. They don't know that. They don't know what that means if you're making payments. It's pretty obvious. When you're outside the debt matrix, that's what that means. If you're making payments, you couldn't buy it. That's why you're making payments. You're making payments to the owner of the product or thing or whatever. All the listen, all the iPhones, Nick. Hey, Nick, I know you're an iPhone user, but 99% of your iPhone buddies with the green, or no, excuse me, with the blue thing, with the blue color, they're finance phones. I wish they had another color for you guys, like red. Ah, that would be funny. If your phone was financed, if your text could be red, oh, that would be beautiful. Oh my God, that would be so beautiful. Oh, oh man, like, hey, when do I get to change my color on my text message? When your phone's when your phone is paid off. That's when you, that's when your text color changes. Excuse me, sorry about that. That would be hilarious, man. I ain't gonna lie, that would be funny. But it's like, okay, it's like this. Okay, so you guys, and all you guys, and you don't have to believe me. Okay, it's totally up to you. When I see, like, when I go to restaurants and stuff like that, and I see Mexicans in the back, right? 9 times out of 10, they know more than these debt slaves. They're not, I guarantee you, they're not financing shit. They're buying everything in cash. You guys probably, oh, look, they drive old cars. They own all the cars they drive. I guarantee you they own them. Okay. Unlike you guys making payments, you drive up to the, you drive up to the drive-through window, you see them all there working at McDonald's and working hard back there. You driving up in your Mercedes, but you're making payments. Man, guarantee you they know. Guarantee you they know. Man, I can see it. When you're outside the debt matrix and I see the foreigners that come here, they're probably like, "What the?" They're probably like, "These guys don't own shit. They don't own nothing." Nope. They're probably like, "Wait a minute. You mean to tell me they in their own language, of course, they finance everything and they think they own it? Yeah. So all we got to do is come here. Yep. Work. Yeah. Stay out of debt. Yeah. And just pay your taxes properly. Yeah, that's it, and become rich. Yeah. So now when I drive down the street, I I always see like little strip malls of all Spanish restaurants, just like the Chinese did it. Just like when I was younger, I used to see Chinese doing that all the time. The Chinese have a and the Koreans have a whole little area, and it's not even the words on the thing are not even English. That's how you know. And then they start buying up. That means they already know when you. The only way you're going to become wealthy is you come here to America and create a successful business. You're not going to do it with a job making payments. That is not going to happen. You're gonna be working in an Amazon warehouse, being treated like garbage. You guys don't know. That's just hey, listen, it is what it is. Everything's a choice. Everything is a choice. Right. I can afford the payments. Hey, that's a famous one right there, Nick. What do you mean I can't afford it? I can afford the payments. Or here's a better one. Oh man, I'm paying. Listen, I'm paying 1,800 in rent, but I can get a mortgage, and the mortgage I'll be paying 1,200. I'm saying, no, you're not. You're not when you hear somebody, young people, when you hear this too, "Oh, man, stop wasting money on rent." This you turn to them and say, "Do you have a mortgage?" They're gonna tell you, "Yes." That's why they're talking like that. They want you to be like them. You guys better hey, man, Tesla's you do not you do not want those warehouse workers, the warehouse, it this is where it's turning to, what it looks like to me. This warehouse, whole bunch of in people in their mentality. And then when I get on social media and I see you guys doing lives, it's always the young people too, doing lives and you guys are working, but you're trying to look at your screen and see who's texting with you. The shit don't even make any sense. What are you doing? And then when they come and fire you, because they always watching you, cameras are everywhere. They see you on your fucking phones. They probably see you. They probably get just prepping your replacement. Then when you come down, hey, we gotta let you go because you've been on your phone. And then, oh, F you, you guys are tripping. No, I'm trying to blame them. Can you imagine the turnover rate in the Amazon warehouse? I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine. And I'm assuming, because that's gonna be, put it this way, that's gonna be a large. No, they're gonna have to do that in pieces, yeah. Because Tesla, you gotta remember, Tesla's all over the world, and so is capitalism, so and everybody's doing this food delivery. It's not just here in the United States, it's all over the world. All of those people, as the countries and the cities and the states, because it's gonna be a slow process, of course, but as they slowly approve, because let me tell you all the things it's gonna fix, okay? And one of the biggest things is this. It's gonna fix the taxes. All the people that are driving this stuff, you guys are say like let's just stick with Uber, okay? The the Uber drivers that are not paying their taxes, this is gonna solve that problem too, because that's gonna force you guys into regular jobs. Well, now the IRS knows exactly where to find you. They'll know where to find you. They can just come straight to you now. And then guess what? That $20 an hour that you're making at the Amazon warehouse, it's going to become less because you're going to have to pay your back taxes with interest and penalties. Here's the here's the bigger picture, okay? So you guys understand this. And I want you guys to you can take it the way you want it. It's totally up to you. When you don't pay your taxes, you are selling yourself to the IRS, to the government. You're selling yourself because now they own you until you pay that money. You guys understand that? Taxes are the law here in the United States of America. You have to participate in it. That's why it's the law. So when you decide not when you decide to, because they know exactly how much money they're say like there's a certain percentage of Uber drivers that are not paying their taxes. Okay, the IRS knows who's not paying their taxes because Uber's telling who they're paying because they're following the laws. So they tell the IRS, "Hey, we played. We pay John Smith every week. Okay, cool. Well, John Smith is not filing taxes every year. They already know how much money they're losing. When they give Tesla the green light, that is all fixed. That all of that stops because Tesla will be paying their taxes, and for sure they'll be paying their taxes. Man, that's gonna. Every time I think about it, I always come back to this Tesla, and it seems like the problem that Elon is gonna solve is you guys have no idea that, man, cities are gonna jump on that shit so fast because they're losing so much tax revenue from these people not paying. Man, you guys don't even get it. They're getting all this money back. All the tips are electronic now. So now it's all tracked, no cash tips, e- everything, you know, and yeah, I'm not gonna get into that, but I can go to a restaurant, go buy some food, you go pay for it. They say leave a tip. I'm like, hey man, I'm coming to pick up my food. I'm not leaving a tip if I'm picking my shit up. Hell no. No. And this is the worst one. I ran into this the other day. Me and my son went out to a Mexican restaurant, right? And I went to pay for the meal. And so they have this electronic thing that they carry around with them, so they can pay for they can use your credit card, run it right there. Well, they put your credit, she put the credit card in there. No, she hands me the machine. No, she puts the credit card in there, does something, then hands me the machine. And guess what? The first screen is on the thing. The tip, how much, how much tip you gonna leave as she's standing there. I was like, oh man, you guys are getting bad with this tip shit. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that tip pressure, that doesn't bother me. I don't care. If I didn't get good service, so I'm picking up my food, I'll push no tip. I don't care if they're staring at me, if they're looking at the screen. I don't care. You're never gonna see me again if you say something. You're never gonna see me spend any money here if you say something. I don't care what they think. Homeowners say things like, "I pay my property taxes early." And when you guys listen, you guys with you guys with mortgages that believe you're homeowners, and when you say you pay your taxes early, that's like that's like a joke, really. It's funny because the property taxes you're paying for, that's not your house. You're paying the bank's house property taxes. They're not your property taxes. They're the bank's property taxes. So when you say you pay them early, okay, whatever. All right. Did the bank give you a bonus or something when you did that? When you paid those property taxes early, did you get a bonus check from the bank? They probably didn't. I guarantee you, they didn't even say thank you, did they? Because that's your job. That was part of the deal. Listen, listen. This is part of the deal. When you ask the bank, when you ask the bank to buy that house for you, I guarantee you in the contract says you must maintain their house, you must cut the grass, you must pay the property taxes, you must get insurance on it. You must have a roof. If anything, listen, if anything breaks, if the AC breaks, the heater, you got to fix it on your dime, everything. And it got to be done on your cost. And you said yes. And you signed on a dotted line. Now, the psychological part is this: you don't know that you did that. You don't even know that that's the bank's house. You think it's yours. And don't feel alone. Millions of you guys think that. You can't you can't even save for retirement while having a mortgage. You can't even do that. You can't even do that. And listen, and guess who taught me the knowledge I'm talking to you right now about? Public school. The number line, zero in the middle, green numbers positive, red numbers negative. That's where I learned it. That's all I need to know. That's all you need to know. All you got to do is apply the number line to your finances and you'll be free. So here's how to tell you. Here's how to tell how long or whatever it's going to take you to be free. Okay, get the number line. Okay, have that, roll it out or write it down on a piece of paper, or a picture of it. Doesn't really matter, right? And then go to your online credit report, get your total debt. So everything added together, every single thing, mortgage, student loans, credit cards, collection, add it all up, take that number, and then place it on the number line. That's how far you are from freedom. You got to get from that number to zero. Once you get to zero, you're free. But until you get to zero, you'll be a debt slave. That's how it is. That's like straight to the point. Your credit report are your debt slave papers. If you don't free yourself, you're going to be working in the Amazon warehouse for 20, 30 years talking about, oh, we need to get a union and this unions listen, unions are not free. You guys understand that? I remember this is so funny. I remember when I first got my first job at Fred Meyer. I'm Washington State, okay? Here I am, fresh out of high school. No, I'm a senior in high school. And there was a Fred Meyer that opened up close to us, close to my neighborhood. And I was like, cool, that'll be cool. I just right down the street, have a job, blah blah blah. Right. So I go down there, apply for something. I think cart boy or something I was doing. Got the job. And then as I signed up and gave me the job, they were like, okay, we have a union here. I said, what's that? Oh, they protect you just in case if the job tries to do something, something, something. I'm like, oh, okay. You mean the job they hired me? Listen, you mean the job that hired me? Yeah, yeah. This is protection. These people will protect you just in case of the people that hired you. Just they didn't make it sound like that. I'm speaking in plain English. Just in case the people that hired you, well, they can't do something or something. What I said, okay, cool. Well, oh yeah. By the way, it's not a choice either. I was like, what do you mean it's not a choice? Well, you have union dues every week. Oh, the union's not free? I was like, no. And then if I don't pay my union dues, I can't work. So basically I have to pay my union dues. Oh, okay. So I pay union dues for years and years and years. And then one time we went on a strike. Okay. During the strike, they don't pay you nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what happens to all those union due money? What happens to all that money? I know what happens. I don't know. Oh yeah, you got to come and pick it, and we're gonna pay you like $100 a week. I was like, $100 a week? What the? That all of listen, debt slaves. When you don't know, you're getting done pretty bad. You just don't know that you're getting done pretty bad because that's how you think it just works. So listen, you get a job, all right? Taxes, federal, all the stuff that got to come out, right? All of that stuff comes out, and then they take union dues on top of that money. And I think if I think about it right, union dues came out after tax. It wasn't pre-tax. I don't think it was. No, it was after tax. So I had to pay all the taxes, the requirements that I have to do, and on top of that, some union. How much money you think you bring it home for using the energy, for using your energy and your time? When you're in there, people, I'm telling you, you don't know what's being done to death. I mean, it's a choice. It's a choice. Smooth says, when you pay off a finance car that look that took longer than what you signed for, does it reflect negatively on your credit report? When you pay off a finance car that took longer than what you signed. Okay, you got to explain that. How do you how do you end up paying longer on a finance car? How do you do that? You mean if you miss some payments? I'm not sure of that question. Like if you got a contract for like let's say 60 months, right? How do you go past 60 months? You got to explain that to me. I don't know how that works. union dues, extortion money for you know what? And you know so crazy. Well, I'm out of it now. I'm not in that program now, humble. But today, there is no way I would get a job with a union. I'm not paying it. I already got to pay taxes now. In order to get that job, I got to pay. No, no. Oh, it's protection. They can do this and that. Nope, nope. And, and listen, if I'm getting hired at a job and I need protection from the people from hiring me, I'm not working there. Let me say that one more time. If I need protection from the people that are hiring me to work there, I'm not working there. That's a lot of money coming out of your checks. And then after you get that money taken out, then you got to pay your living expenses and all the other bullshit that you finance. You guys, debt slaves, they be doing you guys so, man. I remember I remember when I first got my first salary job, I thought I was, for some reason inside the debt matrix, they will make it seem like if you're an hourly worker, let me tell you, hourly workers, listen closely, okay? Listen to me. For some reason, in the debt matrix, only in the debt matrix, they always make it seem like a salary person is somehow better than an hourly person, which is not true because here's the difference. When you're an hourly worker, you are getting paid for every hour you work. When you're salary, you know those guys are working for free. They're working a lot of hours for free. Don't let them fool you like, hey man, if I don't work, I still get paid. Oh yeah, but how many days do you work and not get paid? There're gonna be a lot. There's a lot of days, a lot of days. Oh yeah. This is well, this is I always tell people, I want people to understand this. This is a mathematical fact, and the mathematical fact means it's true. Okay. So physical slavery, only physical slavery is illegal. Psychological slavery is not. Like back in the physical slavery days, the owners had to pay for the living, the housing quarters and stuff for their slaves, right? They had to pay for that stuff, pay for the house and where they slept. Well, now in psychological slavery, the owners, they still supply housing, okay, because all the houses are owned by the bank, but now they make the debt slaves pay for the housing with mortgage payments. So now psychological slaves, they think they're different than the slaves before them. Well, yeah, it's not physical. It's still, I mean, they just don't know. Okay. They believe they own the houses now and they're paying for it. They got the slaves maintaining them. The owners don't have to do anything to the houses. You hear me, you guys? The owners don't even have to pay the taxes on their own houses. The debt slaves do everything. You want to come to the positive side, become a homeowner, and then let them believe that they own it or something. I don't know. Figure that out. But you can do the same thing as the banks. More responsibility, weekends, late nights, more problems. Man, that's crazy. 69-hour weeks, getting paid 40. Yep, yeah. Oh, for the salary. Yeah, exactly. Crazy. That happened to me and fired me after they coughed up back pay. Yeah, I bet. Man, they got me like that all the time. And you know what? Let me tell you something, Wayne. The reason why the majority of us that had salary, the reason why we allowed it because we were in debt. We were in debt. And we're like, oh, we don't want to ruffle no feathers. Oh yeah, sure, man. Sure, boss. Yeah, yeah, master. We did. Yeah, that's exactly. You guys are. It don't even matter the color of your skin. Okay. Make sure you don't think because I'm saying because of black. It's all you psychological slave. This is the wonderful thing about psychological slavery. It's every color. That's even more money. You know how much money that is when you have debt slaves of every single race and color? You like that's like saying, "Oh, only black people." Let me say it out loud so you guys can hear how ridiculous it sounds. Hey, only black people have car payments. Everybody, even black people would turn to me and say, "What the fuck are you? What are you talking about?" Only white people have car payments. Only Chinese people have car. Doesn't that? That's the wonderful thing about psychological slavery. They're all debt slaves, all of them. They don't know it. Yep, trying to make it in slavery. That's a this is and here's another one, William. Here's another one. Debt slaves, when debt slaves see the mouse in the wheel, when a debt slave sees that picture, they know they are the mouse. You don't have to say, "Hey, man," is that they'll even say it, "Oh yeah, that's me, man, just running it." But they don't know what the circle is. They can click. Listen, they don't even look at the picture. They're like, wait a minute. Okay, it's clearly me powering it. What is creating the circle? Because the mouse and the wheel is a psychological thing. If you're a human, you know that you're not a mouse. Okay, so it's psychological, okay? But you just say, okay, that's me. What? Okay, I'm powering it because the mouse is running. But what's the wheel? It's you guys. When you guys finance cars, you refinance your house 5 times. You refinance your car. You finance a phone every single year. That's the circle that you guys are putting yourselves in, and you're powering it. Obviously, that's you running. That's you. That's you. The circle, you create the circle. Every time you walk into a car lot and say, "Yeah, I'll finance that car for 84 months," you put a bar on that thing that you're running on. Those Each bar, that's a credit card, that's a car payment, that's a collection. Those are bars that you guys create. Each time you get rid of a debt, you have no bars. There's no wheel. There's nothing to run on. How can you really get free if you're starting from scratch in the middle of inflation, though? Well, you're talking to a person that's free, William, right now. You're talking to a free person. I'm free. I'm free, William. I'm right here. I'm a person, William, that can tell you exactly how to do it mathematically. But the majority don't believe me. I can prove it with math too. I can give you the blueprint. I've been telling people that for years, but this is the thing, William. Here's the big thing. It's psychological. Okay. That means they don't know that it exists. It's like this, William. If they knew they didn't own how if people knew they couldn't buy houses with mortgages, the housing market wouldn't exist. If if the banks denied, if banks said, "Hey, by the way, if you have a student loan, you really can't buy a house because you haven't paid off your student loan." If they did that, that would hurt the housing market. Say if they say like the banks denied everybody mortgages with student loans, that would hurt the housing market. That cannot happen. It's a beautiful thing that I can give a person the exact blueprint to get out. They be like, "Oh, that's impossible. How you know that?" I'm like, "Cause I'm free. Is that good enough? No? Okay." I'm not saying for you, William. I'm just saying in general. How do you know? Because I'm free. I have no debt. What? How you gonna survive? What do you mean? It's totally different when you have no debt. It's easy. It's not really that hard. Things are not listen. Things are not expensive. Uh, just because if you have no debt, put it this way, so you guys can get it. If you didn't have a car payment right now, and you had the exact same car right now, I just want to make sure you guys clear. You have the exact same car you're driving right now, but you didn't have a car payment. Okay, would you care about gas prices as much? It wouldn't bother you as much if you didn't have a car payment. The reason why gas prices bother you is because you got car payments. That's why. I don't care about the gas price. I don't even look at it. When I go fill my truck up, I put it in and wait for the click. I don't care. Doesn't matter. I don't have no control over it. William got to William. Oh, oh, that's Cosby. Okay, William got to take the steps to be free. Yeah, you got to be free. Because when put it this way, William, when you're free, you won't be you won't be talking about this economy and inflation and the high rise of prices and all this. You won't talk like that. I'm not saying that you're gonna be ignoring it. Don't you're gonna of course, everybody has to pay attention to it, but you won't really care like that. I don't really look at it like that. Hey, somebody says, "Oh, man, this economy is bad." Is it? Tell me, what is bad? And when somebody says that, what does bad mean to you? They're really telling about themselves. What's up, DV? They're really saying about themselves. When somebody says, "Oh man, this economy is just killing me," well, it's killing you. It's not killing everybody. When you hear people talk like that, they're telling you about their situation, which is the only situation that they can talk about. Do you know most people get their information from like TikTok and shorts and shit like that? You can't listen. Anybody that's trying to give you financial information or giving you some advice on the economy, you turn to them and say, "Are you making car payments?" If they say yes, you better stop listening to that person talk about the economy. They don't know what they're talking about. They're making car payments. You don't listen to people talk about the economy and they have a mortgage payment. They don't have nothing to say about it. They're part of it. You talk to somebody with a nice house and no mortgage. You want to listen to what they have to say. It's a different language, William. Put it this way, William. Put it this way. SMD family, we speak another language. Okay. People can believe it or not. It's totally up to you. But we speak another language. We listen to the way people talk about money. Because a lot of SMD family members are still out there in the working world. Okay. And so, and they're younger, so they're hanging around with their friends, and because it doesn't matter your age. Let me make sure you understand it. It doesn't matter your age. So they're hanging around with their friends, and they're all talking. That's called slave splaining. They start talking about, their investments and uh, is the president going to take away student loan debt? They don't know that there are S&B family members amongst them that they are telling their financial situations to without knowing that they're telling their friends, the S&B family member. But the S&B family member ain't gonna say nothing because maybe they want maybe they want to keep that person as a friend. We call that we call that pulling off your mask in public, William. I don't do that. You guys hear me talk on the mic? You guys hear me talking like this? But out in public, I don't do that. I'm not like, hey, you shouldn't be financing cars. I don't talk nothing like that. All of that is called business. All that's called business. But when I saw, back to the topic of the video, when I went into that McDonald's today and I saw that new design McDonald's, the the plaything area, that shit's gone. That's gone. They're gonna get rid of that. I can already tell since they didn't serve in the dining area. I could tell they're gonna get rid of the dining area. They're probably gonna make a second level, just like Taco Bell, and they're gonna do just like the suction things. Remember the bank things years ago? You put your money in and it goes. "Woo!" That's how they're gonna do the food. Look it up. Look it up. LJ and SMB family. Hope everyone is doing well. What's going on, Dark Phobia? I'm great. Absorbing all the knowledge. I'm glad. That makes me feel great because there's a lot of SMB family members that follow me that don't say nothing, that have never spoken a word to me. I'm sure there are tons and tons of stories, debt slave stories, success stories, you know, and people that they make a lot of money. They want to share with somebody that's not going to be asking for it. Hey, since you made so much money, can I get 20,000? No, it wasn't for that. It was I just wanted to share that. That's what I mean. Would you say there, William? Said all stores are large. Yeah, exactly. They're going to that vending machine type of eliminating the people. One thing though, now that I think about it, who's not moving to that design is Chick-fil-A. They're not moving to that design. They are not. See, that's what I pay attention to. Have you noticed that? All the other companies are the fast food companies, they're like eliminating actual people. But Chick-fil-A is not doing that. And they're still taking Sundays off. That's the those are the companies that I pay attention to. I'm like, they're not following. And they've been listen, and they've been around almost 80 years. So don't think they don't know what they're talking about or doing. They better follow along. Nope. Nope. I'm sure Chick-fil-A has seen a lot of businesses come and go. Believe that. Most people are embarrassed to realize they are slaves. That is true, humble. That's part of the psychological your mind, put it this way. Okay, I want people to this is serious, okay? Your mind will have to be strong because your entire life is going to change. You notice, you just listen to the way I'm talking. Hey, tax people, you can't, you can't do certain things. You're like, how can you say that? Professional tax people, they have because nobody can break the laws of mathematics. You can ask, like, here, let me give you an example. Go up to any tax professional, okay? Go up to them and say, hey, mathematically speaking, is it true that I cannot lower myself in my personal tax bracket if I have a mortgage? They have to say it's true. You understand? You can't lower yourself in your tax bracket while having a mortgage. That's impossible. But since they don't know that, here's the psychological piece. Since they don't know that, they believe they can. That's a belief. That's not mathematical fact. But that but that's how it works. So you come to the positive side and you capitalize on it. That what they don't know. It's not a big deal. There's nothing wrong with it. Dave Ramsey does it. Here's an example. If you go to Dave Ramsey's site, he got these baby steps, okay? He says, "Hey, pay off everything except your mortgage when you whatever baby step that is. After you get down to your mortgage, start putting away money into retirement and some here and some there and da 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 da." Da. Well, if you open up your calculator and put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, that's how much money you have to do everything Dave Ramsey is telling you to do. Did you get that? Let me say it one more time. When you go to Dave Ramsey's plan, he says, when you get down to your mortgage, start putting away everything and this and that and kids' college fund, this and that. You open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. You see that number right there? You see that large negative number? That's how much money you have to do everything Dave is telling you to do. You can't do any of that. That's called business. Okay. If you don't understand that and you believe him or do whatever, okay, whatever. He's not doing anything bad. It's not evil. It's not wrong. It's not anything. When you hear me say it, I don't want you to think I'm trying to put him down or say he's a bad businessman or something. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just telling you something. It's the psychological part. It's business. If people knew how much iPhones really cost, you guys would just, and you guys, nobody's going to know that except Apple. I think they are. Ezra, you're right. People can't say that they are free because then they'll definitely ask for money. You can't tell them. You can't say, "Hey, man, I got no debt," because they don't hear it right. Debt slaves. If you tell a debt slave, Cosmic, say, "Hey, oh my God, I've saved up X amount of dollars," and they're gonna be like, they won't be like, "Congratulations." They'll be like, "Can I have some? Since you ain't got no debt, that means you can give me some." It's just crazy the way they talk. They're gonna do, yeah, I think so. Like when they when Tesla comes online and all these Uber, Lyft, they're gonna be like MySpace, okay? Because you youngsters, you guys probably heard about MySpace, but back in the day, MySpace was huge. It was huge. If you wasn't on MySpace, you wasn't nobody, right? You guys haven't even heard of it now. You're like, what's MySpace? Exactly. Uber and Lyft is going to be the same way. And guess who else is shaking in their boots? Xfinity, all these internet providers. Tesla's taking over that shit too. It's on its way. You guys, man, listen? He got right now. He's got the something mini. The, that little. He got a little mini satellite thing that connects the internet to the. You can bring that thing anywhere. If you have a portable, excuse me, a portable power source, car or something portable, and you got that, you can have internet anywhere. You don't even need Xfinity anymore. It'll be like your phone, but better because it's satellite. All you need is a clear shot to the sky. That's it. UBI would be terrible if you think rent prices are well. You got to remember, Cosmic. In order for, and this is just a guess. I don't know. It just and remember, this is all a guess. I don't know about. They're gonna everybody. It's gonna they're gonna have to do an adjustment. They're gonna have to prepare. They're gonna have to do that. They're gonna have to break that up in sections because if they just brought it online for everybody, all those people would be instantly out of the job. There's already tons of homeless people out on the streets right now. That would be horrible. That would be horrible. So I don't think it's going to happen like that. For surely not. Question: would you say that managing debt is like a business? Uh, you mean managing what? Business debt? The only debt I manage is business debt. So that yeah, that's the same thing. But if you're referring to managing personal debt, I don't do that. I don't do any of that. But if you're getting it'll when you're getting out of debt, now that's different. If you said, LJ, all right, here, LJ, here, give me a plan. I gave you the plan, and now you're managing your debt to get out of debt. Yeah, that's different. That's surely different. But I just saw that model: warehouse workers, Amazon steady opening up big, giant here in Washington, in Kent, Washington, man. They bought all this farmland. I mean, this thing is that warehouse is just huge. That is crazy. It is just wild, man. Congratulations to Amazon. Congratulations to Tesla. You guys, listen, young people, if you got some money, if you came into an inheritance or something, I would be ready for that. That's gonna be a money maker. And if you own your Teslas, if you own them, if you own your Teslas, you can make some money. Man, that is coming. I gotta figure that out. I want some of that money too. Any questions of me? Any questions? Let's see. Okay. Gotta hurry up and get me a Mac. Gotta get me another Mac. I've been dragging my feet on that. My 6-year-old Mac is dying on me. It's giving me problems. I gotta go ahead and get rid of it. Man, that's one thing about Macs, man. They last. Oh, they last. Love them. All right, I posted a link just in case you guys have a question for me. What about making money with our job? That's a tool, William. So when you understand the goal of what, like when I'm showing you, I tell people if you have a job, now you look at your job differently. Your job is a hammer. Your job is a lawnmower. You're not there to make friends and buddies and go out after work and talk about how you hate your job. You don't do none of that shit. That's a tool. The majority of people at jobs are there because they have to, because they're in debt. Once you get that, once you start understanding that, put it in your mind, and a job is a tool, okay, you're just there to make some money, get the hell out of debt. Because I'll tell you this, William, once you're out of debt, that's it on your job. The next move is to get out of that job because you're going to understand what a job really is. A job is when you guys get out of the debt matrix and you see what salaries and hourly wages are, you're going to be like, what the? Yes, you are. And this is how I want you to look at it, okay? So you guys understand the seriousness of it. Think about how much you make an hour, okay? Then I want you to Google how much does Amazon make in an hour? Just Google it. Now I know you're thinking, oh, how you gonna compare me to a business? I just want you to see something. That's all. I just want you to see it. So you can see where you are at with your hourly wage. Just look up Amazon. How much they make in an hour. They probably made your yearly salary in an hour. I'm sure it's more than that, but I'm sure. Amazon did shut down a lot of warehouses and open up during the pandemic. Yeah, yeah, probably not in the Washington since they're yeah, yeah. I mean, just part of casualty base. It's just part of business. I'm sure it's part of business. They ain't going nowhere. Amazon's going nowhere. All right, you guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I know it's late on the East Coast. If you catch the live, catch it later. Leave a comment. You can reach me at SavingsMinusDebt at gmail.com. If you want to reach out to me, I give people the blueprint. If you want to stop messing around and you want the answer to true wealth, just come straight to me. I'll give you the answer. I'm telling you, man, I'm the shortcut. I know more than 99% of people in America. Do you guys understand that? I know something that 99% of people in America. And you're probably thinking, well, who is that? People with mortgages, car loans, credit cards, collections, all those people. They don't know. They're debt slaves. You don't want to be that. I'm 54 going on 55. You do not want to wake up at my age. This is the wrong time. And if you're my age listening to this, let me tell you something. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but your mind is going to have to be very strong. Okay? It's going to have to be very strong to accept what I have to teach you. Remember, everything I teach is mathematical fact. That means it's true. If you choose not to believe it, like that's just like me saying, "Hey, 1 + 1 = 2," and you said, "I don't believe it." There's nothing else I can do for you. I just walk away. What are your thoughts about an estate paying off debts before distributing assets to relatives? Well, I don't really do that kind of stuff. I don't really understand that. That's up to lawyers and stuff like that. I just do personal debt. Like if somebody say like this, DV, say like a person was asking me that same question. The first question I'm gonna ask them, I'm gonna say, "Are you in debt?" I'm gonna ask the person asking me that question if they're in debt. If they're in debt, I'd say you need to go see a professional about that because you haven't handled your own estate yet, you know, your own stuff. So you should probably do that first. You're welcome, William. Most major corporations are zombie companies. Okay. They are in debt and only make enough money to service their debt. And it's probably true. This when you see put it this way, when you see multi-million, billion-dollar companies doing stuff, debt and stuff, I don't even try to think about what they're doing because that's way, you know, when I hear people in debt talk about company debt, I'm like, okay, you don't know the difference between personal debt and business debt, obviously. Not you, I'm just saying in general. So the majority, listen, the majority of people in debt, debt slaves, They do not know the difference between business debt and personal debt. So when they hear people like Robert Kiyosaki talking about he gets rich off debt, he uses debt get rich. He's talking about business debt. When a debt slave listens to Robert Kiyosaki, they don't know he's talking about business debt. They don't even know to ask that question. Which kind of debt are you talking? They think there's this is how debt slaves look at debt when they talk about Robert Kiyosaki. Oh, there's good debt and bad debt. No, those are just your feelings about your debt. When you hear somebody talk about good debt and bad debt, the only thing they're doing is telling you how they feel about the debt they have, which means nothing. Debt is just debt. It's not good or bad. It's just debt. Warner Brothers, for example, is over 40 billion in debt. The debt matrix. Well, again, Luzon, you don't know what that means. Neither do I. No, I don't know what that means. 40 billion in debt, and you got to remember your sources. Who told you that? Some news article or something? Or you can't really. I promise you, don't listen to stuff like that, especially at that kind of level, billions of dollars. Oh yeah, that was my first one. That ain't my daddy's when I first started out, long time ago. Soon Rise. That was my first. A lot of you guys don't know that. That's where it started. That ain't my daddy. I changed it from that because death slaves were just they kept going on the name. That ain't my daddy either. Just I'm like, okay, I got to find something that they can't add their feelings into it. And then I came up with savings minus debt. So you can't add no feelings into it. It's just a math statement. So now you can just say nothing. So anyway, yeah. All right. Any more questions before I go? Any more questions? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I know it's hard to listen to stuff like this, but it is true. All you got to do is apply the number line to your finances and believe it. That's it. Then your whole life is going to change forever. No, that's a feeling. Okay, good debt is a feeling. When it good, I feel good. I feel bad. Those are just feelings. These companies go out of business as soon as the company. Well, some of them do, not all of them. Car will be paid off by December. I haven't been this excited and for Christmas in 15. Exactly. Ain't that crazy? It is a beautiful feeling, Smooth. You're right. And check it out. You can't even listen, there's not even many people that gonna be happy for you. I'm probably one. Am I the only person that's gonna be happy for you? I hope not. I hope there's more people. But in reality, people are not gonna give a shit. They're not gonna care. It's sad. But that's the reason why I had to start this channel, SMB, because when I was getting out of debt, I was trying to tell my friends and family, "Hey, man, this feels so great. This is nice and this and that." They wasn't even trying to hear it. They're like, whatever. Yeah, who are you? A Dave Ramsey wannabe?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? They ain't got nothing. Dave, help me." It's crazy. But that's death slave though. Then you learn. Then you learn to be where I'm at now. I don't really pay attention to death slave advice. Uh, I don't really pay attention to what they say. I'm glad I don't have a job, a regular job, because that would be hell. Just listen to that slave explaining all day for 8 hours, 40 plus hours a week, complaining about home and bills and their spouses and da 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 da. Oh my God, that would be torture. If you run your personal finances or business in debt, then you're losing either way. Best to be debt free on all levels for sure. Yeah, don't be debt free in any level, but you got to start with yourself first. If you start with yourself first, I promise you, uh, it counts on what business you're in and where you're at in taxes, when you're debt free first, become debt free first personally, and then if when you go into debt, there's certain reasons why to do because it's all made to make you participate in the economy. Okay, that's how the system is really set up. Once you understand how it works, the reason why you'd probably get debt. I'm not saying you have to have debt in business or debt at all. I'm saying sometimes there are specific reasons, and it's usually tax purposes of why you would get some kind of debt in business. That's all. But like I said, you just take that to your if you go to a tax professional, right? And hopefully you could find the ultimate goal is this, okay? This is your ultimate goal. If you own a business, well, I guess if it's a person, most of you guys have businesses that do it. But if you own a business and you go to an actual person, if you can find a tax-free a tax professional who is personally debt free, you'll be winning. Okay, that person right there, if you go to that person, you say, "Hey, I found this channel SMD." Okay, this is how you got to say it. I found this channel SMD. He said, if I find a tax professional who is personally debt free, you would know something that your peers do not. Okay, you got to say it like that. And if you have to come back and listen to that, go to it. If you can find a tax professional who is personally debt free, you say to him, "Hey, this guy named LJ on SMD said he said you would know something that your peers do not about the tax system and about how taxes work and stuff like that. I promise you that. Say that to him. Okay. Just my mom, grandma's cosigner, and cousin. What's the one? Gotcha. Oh, that are happy for you. Okay, cool. Oh, I get it now. I bet your grandmother's happy. I bet you she is happy. Shit. Oh, that's funny. That is funny right there. And cousin. She's like, "Oh, I'm proud of you, boy. Go ahead. We're in December. Okay. All right. All right. Congratulations. Oh, okay. Ain't doing that no more." Oh, that is funny. All right, man. Any other questions? I don't know how my nose gonna get stuffed up in the summertime. Oh, the allergies. Okay. Any other questions on this beautiful Saturday night? People go into business because they don't have the money, but people go into business debt because they don't have the money, but they want to take a risk. A risk simple, no slave explaining needed. Yeah, I just put it. I strongly suggest this before opening the business. First, own the business of yourself. If you own the business of yourself first, and then you own a business, your business experience will be much, much different. And here's why: you will be able to listen to your customers better instead of money driving you. Oh, I need to hurry. I need to make this amount of money, so I got to charge these kind of price so I get this so I can pay these bills. In the background, you don't realize that it's running you. If you can do it debt free, you can grow your business much better. You can listen to your customers more. You can. It's. I don't really know how to explain that part, but it's true. You can own the business of yourself first, because you can't. I always tell people this: you cannot own a business outside of yourself if you don't own the business of yourself first. It's like it's like people that get second mortgage, two mortgages on one house. If you got a second mortgage on your house, by default, that means you don't know why you needed the first. You see how it just flows together? It all started with It all started with you, man. Changed my mentality, worked hard, just pay it down. Congratulations, man. I know you guys are out there doing it. I know you guys hear me. I'm glad. Thank you. Hey, listen, Smooth. I'm glad you came back to tell me because that drives me. I've been going almost what, 8 years, 9 years strong, strong, and love it. I'm going to do this until I can't do it anymore, people. Everybody. And check out my other channel too. Check out my other channel. Here, let me post it here. Let me go on YouTube. You still here, Nick? 'Cause I always forget to do that. That's my other channel on YouTube. But I strongly suggest like this, not saying that you can't, okay? If you're not debt free first, you're not going to really understand that channel, okay? Because what people don't know is the sixth sense exists. The sixth sense is psychological. When you guys hear me talking about capitalism is psychological and stuff like that, well, the psychological is the sixth sense. I understand that now, and that's what I talk about on that channel, and it's true. Like, I want you guys to think about it. Millions of people do not know they do not own the houses that they live in. Millions. Not just here, all over the world. That's their problem. You understand that? Debt slaves are debt slaves by choice. They are choosing not to use the number line that we were all taught in elementary school against their finances. That's a choice. Every single one of us that went to elementary school took a math class and understand the number line. All of us. If you decide to become a grown up and not use it, that's your problem. It's very simple. It's so simple, it's embarrassing. You guys know I was a computer engineer for like almost 20 years. Everything about being a computer engineer is math. And I still didn't apply that to my finances. Do you know that? That's crazy. College degree, all that stupid shit. Everything is math. Subnet mask, IP addresses, all this DMZ stuff. Everything got to match. Subnet mask got to be a certain number for it to work. All that. But I didn't apply the number line to my finances. Does that make any sense? No, because it was psychological. I didn't know. I didn't know I was a six-figure earning debt slave computer engineer. I didn't know that. Why? Because I drove a nice car, lived in a nice place, wear nice clothes, and nice looking women, blah, blah, blah. And I was just a debt slave. Any questions? But I'm free now. I'm free. Let me tell you where I'm at before I go. I have no problems, no debt, no negative people, no negativity at all in my life, no arguing, no yelling, no raising of voices, no nothing with nobody. I'm at 100% peace. I'm at a place that nobody knows exists. People, when I go places, people can see it in my face, my skin, the way I look, the way I walk. Oh my God, how old are you? 55, 54? You don't look, you still look like you're in your 40s. I know why I look the way I look because I have no stress. You got the majority of you guys don't, the majority of the population are under stress, something that they don't even realize that they don't have to have. You don't have to have stress. When I tell people I have no stress, they don't even believe me. You don't have no stress. No, none. None. Oh, I don't believe you. Okay, well, all right. I remember watching being a kid. I remember being a kid and adults would tell me to stop watching TV. It's programming you. Yep. You never hear that anymore. You know what's so crazy? You're right. Oh yeah, because now it's moved to dark phobia. It's moved to shorts. It's still there. Listen, I am fully aware what shorts do. That's an addiction. People don't even realize that is an addiction. Sometimes I have to catch myself. Oh shit, I'm going longer than I normally would. It got me off guard. You caught me. First, I'm looking up something. Next thing you know, I'm in Africa watching lions killing warthogs and birds. I'm like, how did I get over here? Shorts. That's the program. Now I understand the program, Dark Folk, because they used to tell me that when I was a kid. Stop watching TV, it's programming you. I was like, what? I love the Cosby Show. It's wonderful. Where do you see that in real life? Nowhere. That's the program. Silver spoons, different strokes, all in fantasy programs. Designs, listen, specifically designed for debt slaves. Pretty Woman. Remember that movie Pretty Woman? Where the rich person marries the prostitute? That's not, none of that is true. All right. I don't know how I ended up on movies either. All right. Any questions left? Get on out of here, man. How long we been going? Oh, hour and 30 minutes. Wow. Okay. I ain't gonna remember I used to go 3 hours? Crazy. Nowhere near that now. But I had a captive audience. That's the difference. I had a captive audience during that time. Nobody was going nowhere. But anyway, you guys have a good one. All right. Have a good night. Later.